whoa, I ain't paying you $42,000 for yours. Okay, I got you. $28,000 ain't near enough for my truck. Whoa, okay, I got you. What were you thinking, right? Obviously, you're pretty educated, and I know that I'm close. I didn't hit you with these numbers to insult you, obviously. That wouldn't be me trying to do business with you. Think about this like reasonably for a minute, guys. In your mind, think about this reasonably. I did not send these numbers out on that paper to insult anybody. I just sent them out real numbers, right? And I'm gonna make them earn any discount, just like I've got to earn any profit, right? So don't ever think that you should feel like you insulted somebody by showing them the numbers. And then they go, oh man, my truck's worth 30 grand. What do you say? What do you say?
I was asking, when he first said it was 35, and I was like, where'd you get that? He pulled his Kelly Blue Book paper out, and I was like, look, Kelly Blue Book is retail value. I was like, we take it in like as a, we use NADA. I was like, so look that up. And he looked it up, and it came out to 28. And then
let's say it's 35 grand.
Yeah.
Let's say it's 35. Let's say he wants 35 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm $7,000 away.
Right.
Sir, we're close. Good news, we're close. According to him, I've got like, at least 10 grand I'm working with over here, right?
Yeah.
I wish I did have that on every car. Be making some money. So his number's 35 grand, right? What do you say? You start trying to back up. Where'd you get that number from? Where'd you do this? Where'd you do that? I'm going to tell you guys something that's powerful. You know what you do? I couldn't agree with you more. I think your truck's a $35,000 truck too. Matter of fact, if I take it in on trade, I'll probably park it right out front for 35 grand, right? But in order for your truck to be worth 35 grand, I've got to do a few things first, right? So for $35,000, I'm going to have to do a couple things, right? First and foremost, I'm going to have to do a UCI on the truck. My average UCI in this store, which is a used car inspection, which I have to do in order to sell any of my pre-owned cars. So if you go look at any pre-owned car I have on the lot, it's been through my shop, it's been fully serviced. Matter of fact, I have to put tires on it like I'm going to on your truck, set of tires on there. So my average UCI on a car, on a truck a little bit more. You understand that, you've owned a truck, a little bit more maintenance involved. So a truck's probably about $700, right? Just for the UCI, right? And then also the tires. And on that particular truck, don't you got to put Pirellis on that?
Yeah.
How much are those?
Jeep.
About $1,000. That ain't why you're trading it, is it? Because you didn't want to put them Pirellis on there?
That's exactly what
Oh,
I'm
okay.
So
$1,000.
10,000. Let's save 1,000.
Is that what it is? You didn't want to put them Pirellis on there, did you? The jokers are expensive, buddy. Right? So you can see I've got to do a couple things to it, right? I'm also going to have to do a complete detail on the car. I have to do that. Would you buy a car this nice if it wasn't fully detailed? What's a full detail cost you?
$500.
I'll meet you in the middle and say $300.
There you go.
Right? I'll meet you in the middle and say $300. Right? What else do I have to do in order to be able to sell this truck?
Advertising.
Huh? I got to advertise it. What's it cost to advertise a car? I say $500, right? Mine's $500 to advertise it, right? What else do I got to do to sell this car?
Pay salesman commission.
Right? I might have to pay a commission,
Gotta make a profit.
right? I might have to give everybody my phone number,
Fill it up with gas.
right? I'm gonna have to do a lot of things in order to try to sell this truck. You guys understand that, right? So I get all the way down to here. Let's say I take all this stuff out of there. I'm gonna turn myself into a salesman, right? Used car salesman. Do you ever want to be a used car salesman? Right? So here we are now. Now I'm down to $31,000 for the truck. So in order for me to net $31,000 out of this truck, I'm gonna have to ask $35,000 for it. I'm gonna have to put all this money into it, right? I'm gonna have to do all this stuff, okay? Right? There's one thing that we haven't talked about yet, sir. Very, very key question. How much are you gonna be willing to discount How much you gonna be willing to discount it?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
So you're certainly not expecting me to discount mine either then, right?
Correct. As long as the number I want for my truck, and I'll take your car for your price.
Starts to become an awkward situation, doesn't it? Right?
Right.
It does. And that's a good thing. Right? I'm gonna tell you why, because here's what happens. When they start thinking about this logically, and they start thinking about what they're asking you, they realize, right, that they're not being realistic. Right? Because they know they're gonna ask me for a big discount on mine. They're thinking they've done all this research on theirs, right? And they think that their car's worth all this money. But when you put it out to them the right way, it really ain't. But check this out. Let's say they're gonna discount it 1,000. Now you're at 30, right? So now you're at 30. Now you're at 30 grand, right? So what you're telling me right now is if you advertise your truck for 30 grand, you went through all this stuff, or maybe you didn't go through all this stuff and you just started out a little bit lower, right? And you're willing to take 30 grand for your truck, right? Well, here's my benefit of being a dealer, right? You get a tax credit, right? Which is an amazing thing. See, everybody wonders how dealers are able to make money. You know, this day and age, you got this information everywhere. People go out, just like you did, they do all this research on the cars. They know about what the values of the cars are. It makes it tougher for us. So how do we make money? It's real simple, right here, right? I'm able to get your car for a little bit less, right? You know what the tax savings on $28,000 is? What's $28,000 times 6%, guys?
Just below, that's 1,600.
About 2,400 bucks.
Well, how much is it?
6%.
Do the math. What is
Just
it?
below.
You gotta do the math. You're gonna be sitting there with them. What is it? What's
1680.
1,600 bucks?
About 1680.
On 30 grand, it's 1,800. So
Okay.
minus 120.
So let's just do minus 1,500 bucks.
Yeah.
Right? So check this out. You trade
I
your
know.
truck in,
I said it.
right? You trade your truck in, right? I show you 28.5, right? You still net the 30 that you want, and now I have the opportunity to turn around, sell your truck, and make a few bucks. That makes sense, doesn't it? Right? So let me ask you this. If I was able to get you another 500, can we go ahead and wrap this up right now? And just stop the madness, the chaos? That's how you take someone's trade down. And it doesn't matter if it's a $30,000 car, a $15,000 car, whatever it is, that's how you take their trade down. And you know what? All this stuff in the middle, all this little stuff, you can customize this. You can make this whatever you want, right? But it's gonna be a UCI, it's gonna be a detail, it's gonna be a reconditioning. You know, a truck this nice, man, nobody wants to see no scratches on it, right? Nobody wants to see that chip in the windshield. That's why you walk the trade, right? Then you go in there and you take the trade down for them and you make it make sense to them, right? And you show them how they're actually getting what they really should be getting for their car, and it gives you the opportunity to make a little bit more gross, right? But it doesn't start out with you arguing with them, right? When you're away on somebody's trade, you don't just start arguing. I couldn't agree with you more, man. I couldn't agree with you more. You're 100% right. Right? We're on the same page. I like that. You're obviously pretty educated. And then you start breaking it down for them. Huh? And then you know what you do? You look at them and go, man, you've obviously done this before. You've obviously done this before. You know I'm where I need to be on the car. What do we got to do to just finish this thing up? Right? If I give you another 500 tinted windows, are we good?